Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Camilla Carrara, Project Coordinator at C.L.A.S.S. I'm really pleased to welcome you all today to the second session of C.L.A.S.S Smart Voices 2022 program, a spotlight on water-saving solutions, organized to celebrate the World Water Day. Now, I'm extremely pleased to present our today's speakers. Giusy Bettoni, CEO and founder of C.L.A.S.S, Francesca Santoro, Program Specialist, IOC UNESCO, Regional Bureau for Science and Culture in Europe, Michal, Vice President, Global Marketing Nilit, Michal Arbel, Sustainability Communication Lead, Kornit Digital, Irene Diez, Ecoalf Foundation Director. Enjoy your vision.
Thank you very much, Camilla. Welcome to everybody. Happy Water Day, because that's the objective of today, and we need really to celebrate. Just after, yesterday, that was the beginning of spring, and we would like to be as much as possible, concentrate on positive and energetic, because of everything. So welcome here. I'm really pleased, to be here today with our, Smart Voice dedicated to something that is we need it to survive. We need, to survive every day, but, we need for our environment, we need for the human being, but we need also the ocean in good health. So it's not just something that we use for ourselves and for generic the planet. We need good health for everybody. And if we look at, the United Nations Conference of Trade and Development, they said, that fashion and textile industry represent one of the major polluters of water in the world. We even estimated, and I'm still crying, thinking about this number, 93 billion cubic meters of water used per year. So this is water enough to meet the needs of 5 million people. But, this is just 1 year, just for the fashion. And around 500 million tons of microfiber, which is equivalent of 3 million barrels of oil, and is now dumped into the ocean every year. Fashion industry is producing 20% of global wastewater. These are facts, we like or not, maybe someone will have some comments more, but that is the problem. This is, the numbers we need to face. But who knows C.L.A.S.S and who follow C.L.A.S.S? They know that we are not just here to say we have a problem. We are trying to be part of the solution, but moreover, we are trying to put, solution together, because we have this approach where innovation and responsibility has to be there. And so today we would like to focus on new responsible and innovative solution. We know it's not the perfection, because, if we are honest, we need to recognize this, but we know that each single step that is done properly can count a lot. So today I'm really honored to be here with people that has decided, from a long time in the industry or as an association to change the system. So really pleased to be here with UNESCO, with Sensil, Kornit, and Ecoalf, to share how their strategies and processes that are already in place. We are not talking about the future, we are already talking about today, about this possible solution. And without talking again, because we know that we have problem, but we would like to start facing with the solution. Let's talk, with the people. So welcome to Francesca Santoro, Program Specialist, IOC UNESCO, Regional Bureau for Science and Culture in Europe. We talk about the scenario and the challenges. Just to introduce you, Francesca works for the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission of UNESCO, where she's in charge of ocean literacy and ocean science communication activities, as well as the coordination of a global partnership to raise the awareness of stakeholders and the importance of the ocean for the planet. I've been really lucky because I was with Francesca 2 years ago when in Italy we introduced, the decade for the oceans. And that's why I'm really pleased to continue the conversation with her today. She's one of the most busy person going, everywhere and organizing, things everywhere, but really because she told me that we are talking about ocean and not oceans, because it's just one, and you know, we need to really take a great care of it. So UNESCO, Francesca, has developed awareness-raising initiatives targeting the general public and local community through media tools and young people, as implemented by the Secretariat, to raise awareness of the value of heritage and importance of its protection. Do you feel that today's sustainability is a hot topic? And how to engage with the public? How to involve you, the final consumer, in your activities? Please, words to you, Francesca.
Thank you very much, Giusy, and thanks for the introduction and the nice words, and very pleased as well to be here with you and to be able to share some of the thoughts and some of the strategies that UNESCO is putting in place to raise the awareness of people, the general public, but also different stakeholders about the importance of the ocean for this planet. Definitely, as you said, this is we live in an era in which sustainability is a topic that has been, you know, high on the agenda, high on the political agenda as well. This was not always the case, maybe only a few years ago. So I've been working on this topic for the last 25 years, and definitely I could see the change in the perception of people, but still a lot needs to be done, especially when it comes to presenting sustainability issues in the right way. And when I say in the right way, I mean science-based. This is very important for us because, in my opinion, it is even better not to talk about something rather than talk about something in the wrong way. Because talking about solutions, if we frame our discussion in the wrong way, we propose the wrong solutions to the problem. So for me, it's really important that we frame and we get to a common understanding of the issues at stake. And that we always highlight the importance of science, and that the information that we present is science-based. My organization, I say a few words for those of you who are not familiar with it, is the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission of UNESCO, is the focal point for ocean science within the UN system. And so our role is really to coordinate worldwide the ocean research and ocean science activities. The ocean is little known. This is another thing that we should be aware, although as we were saying, and as you Giusy were saying before, it is absolutely crucial for the survival on this planet, and also it covers almost 71% of the surface. So Arthur Clarke, a writer, once said how inappropriate is to call this planet Earth when it's clearly planet Ocean. So this is something that we should always remember. We know very little about the ocean. As I said, we have mapped more or less 20% of the seafloor. So we still have to discover 80% of the seafloor. Marine scientists, marine biologists are telling us that we might still have to discover 1 million species in the ocean. But the more and more we are seeing a better awareness of the importance of the ocean. I would say that one turning point was represented by the plastic issue, the marine plastic issue. This is because I think it's an element that is part of our everyday life, while normally when we talk about other topics, people feel that this is too far away from their everyday life, while plastics is everywhere in our life. And also I think seeing all those images of also iconic marine animals with the stomach full of plastics, I think was able to get the attention of people. So going back to your question, how we can really make sure that people are pay attention to what we say and are looking at, you know, our communication assets and information in the right way. I think first of all we need to find the hooks. We need to find the hooks. And by hook, I mean what I just said, things that people can really connect to in their everyday life, because otherwise we talk about things that are too far away from people's life. And also we have to make sure that people understand that protecting the ocean is protecting their lives, and that the ocean is part of our everyday life in so many things, starting from the oxygen we breathe. This is also something I always repeat, that between 50 and 80% of the oxygen produced on this planet is produced in the ocean. This is something that maybe a few people know, because we always talk about the Amazon as the lung of our planet, about forest, but actually the majority of the oxygen produced on this planet is produced by tiny animals and tiny plants in the ocean. And just to give you a little number, there is only one bacteria by itself, it produces almost 20% of the oxygen produced on this planet. So the oxygen we breathe, the food we eat, the water we drink, going back to today's topic. So these are for me the hooks that we need to use to make people understand that this is not something theoretical, something abstract. It's not about the environment, it's not about the ocean, it's about our lives. And it's about our survival, the very survival of the species, of our species on this planet. Another strategy that we use is that we try to avoid the doom and gloom, because this doesn't work. Because if we are, telling to people, I mean, of course, we have to be very open and sincere about what are the numbers, what are the trends, but we always need to be able to provide solutions, which is the topic of this talk, because this gives hope to people, and also is an incentive for people to change their behavior, to be committed, because this will lead to something good and will lead to the solutions of the problems. So this is another strategy that we use, and also because we strongly believe that we can bring solutions to the table, always, as I said, science-based. And finally, another strategy that we use is that we try to always engage with our stakeholders. We are not using a top-down approach, but we always try to engage people, to listen to them, to listen to their needs, and to try to find, to develop together, to co-develop, to co-design all of our initiatives. These are the three main strategies that I would say that have helped us so far to raise the profile of the ocean within the public, but also on the international political agenda.
This is really amazing, Francesca. You know, all the time that I hear about the role that ocean has in the lives of people and, you know, all the animals and everything, basically, it's amazing, and it's really worried how we treat them at the moment. But as we said, you know, and for me, the fact that we put solution before, you know, instead of keeping talking about the problem and talking, is because today we have the possibility also to discuss some solution from the industry directly, in order to maybe not to solve, but to diminish and not impact so much, because we are always, as class, talking about the fact that sustainability for us is the way that you use innovation in order not to impact on anything, start at least not to impact on anything. But after 10 years, you know, we have been working in this field since 2007, so it's 15 years, and we have seen now that technology cannot just not impact, but to decrease really the impact. So that's why it's important to be here together. And just another question, because of course, you know, 2021-2030, United Nations Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development. Some milestone, Francesca, because it's dedicated to the public, but it's dedicated also to the industry. And so today, and you know, during you know, the class 2022, we will be talking a lot about this, and maybe also again together. But if today you can share some hints with us, would be great.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. As you said, 2021-2030 has been declared by the UN General Assembly as the decade of ocean science for sustainable development. This was indeed a milestone and the result of another wonderful year for the ocean, which was the 2017, when the United Nations organized the first ever conference fully dedicated to the ocean. You can imagine that in 70 years of history, the United Nations had not organized yet a conference to the ocean, but in 2015, as you know, the Agenda 2030 was approved, and there was another milestone for the ocean community, because although there were some discussions about having or not having a standalone goal on the ocean, in the end we were able, the ocean community was able to get a standalone goal on the ocean, which is the SDG 14. Which actually, I have to say, is the least funded, unfortunately, in the list of all the 17 goals, still the least funded. But after that, and thanks, I have to say, because it's always important to talk about people, a group of people coming from the small islands developing states, or how they like to call themselves, the big ocean states, instead of the small islands developing states, and especially the ambassador of Fiji to the United Nations, Peter Thompson, proposed to the UN General Assembly to organize a conference to, let's say, take stock of the implementation of SDG 14. And so 2017 was the first UN Ocean Conference. And actually this year, we're going to have the second UN Ocean Conference in Lisbon. Is gonna happen from the 27th of June to the 1st of July. And again, this is going to be fully dedicated to solutions. So very much in line with what we are discussing now. And the Ocean Decade is all about that. It's all about bringing science to drive solutions. And for this reason, as you correctly said, we want to make a little revolution in the way we do ocean science. So we don't want to, or we don't want just to have ocean science that describes phenomena, but we want to have an ocean science that drives solutions. And to do that, we need to have all the stakeholders on board, and first of all, industry, of course, and technology. So this is how we want to, we want to know better the ocean, because as I said before, we know it very little, but at the same time, we want to make sure that the ocean knowledge that is produced is used by the stakeholders to drive action. And this is what I do with my program, which is called Ocean Literacy, which is about educating not only children, although it started with educating and developing activities in school, but really empowering stakeholders to use ocean knowledge to drive action. This is what we do, but this is what I do every day, developing tools, approaches, and methodologies to really make people able and capable of using data, of using ocean knowledge. For example, in a few days, where we are organizing an ocean literacy training for the finance sector, because as we know, the more and more the finance sector is looking at sustainable finance, but they have to be able and capable to understand ocean data, to use those ocean data to make their assessment and evaluation in terms of risks and benefits for the industry and for the finance sector. So that's what we do, and that's what the Ocean Decade wants to do. It wants really to give the tools to all stakeholders to use ocean data, and also from the academic community to make an extra effort to make those data and those information more available and more usable by everybody.
Francesca, very clear and to the point as usual. We are going to use you. Wait for us, because we are coming, because we have the industry, behind us, and the industry that is going, to do the innovation that, in order to be told innovative, has to create no impact, because if it creates impact and is not sustainable, that's not anymore innovation. So the science that you are talking about is exactly what we are thinking about. And I think that just putting, the efforts together, we can get to the next level. So thank you for the moment, Francesca.
Thank you very much.
We will leave all the questions, as Camilla was saying, at the end. But now we are going into the industry because really pleased to be here with Michal, Vice President, Global Marketing at Nilit. Nilit is a global producer and a marketer of high-quality nylon 6/6 fiber for apparel and other products. Michal has just appointed Vice President, Global Marketing at Nilit in January, and she currently oversees the marketing efforts of Sensil brand. And prior to Nilit, she has been a business leader at Cornet and associate for 5 years. And she has also been part of Adidas Group for 17 years. But Michal, here we are talking about something so important. We have already shared some, some words and some enthusiasm, because there is, believe me, Francesca, there is a lot of passion behind here. It's not just about production. When you meet this industry, they are just wanting to share more and more. So, but Michal, let's start first with Nilit's strategy towards sustainability, because of course, sustainability has to overcome different challenges, or let's say chances, I think, to get better where water is a part of it. So please, up to you.
Absolutely. All right, thanks, Giusy, and thanks for including us in the topic today. I think it's tough to follow Francesca. There's a lot of great information and a lot of passion behind what she shared, and a lot of impact that she's making as well too. So I'm excited to be here today to represent what we're doing at Nilit. So you mentioned Sincel, obviously, is our sustainable brand that we are focused on. And I put together a few slides because I thought it might be easier to follow it for the group that's on the call as well. And you mentioned it in the beginning, Giusy, around how pollutive really this industry is, and it's really up to us to help shape it and change it for the future. And we know that a lot of companies today need to show the positive impact on lowering CO2, reducing water consumption, which obviously is a key topic for today as well. And we want to be part of that change. We want to be disruptive in the marketplace today. So you can see our vision here, which is really around actively shaping the future of the textile, sportswear, and fashion industry in a responsible and sustainable way. So this vision for us really drives everything that we do. So our role, and as we see it, is really to provide upstream solutions to downstream products. So we're thinking all the way through the value chain, right from the polymer, from when we develop it, right through to the garment and the end of life. And how do we make sure that through it, that value chain, that we're considering all sustainable solutions as well. What is important though, and I think it's important to mention that we also don't want to compromise what we are bringing to the marketplace. So we know nylon, and we know the product that we offer today with nylon 6/6. It's durable, it's comfortable, it has a high level of performance. And so while we are looking for more sustainable solutions, obviously we're connected to that and delivering the best product that we can, and also giving the consumer really a great opportunity to purchase something that they're feeling like they're making a positive impact to the planet as well. Maybe just another quick slide here too that I'll cover too. So our promise is really sustainability, right? When we think about a core value for Nilit, it's all about sustainability. Last year we announced our sustainability report, which we were really excited about, and this is really showcasing the significant achievements that we've had over the past 5 years. So all of it towards improving the environmental footprint that we have, as well as positively influencing the textile and apparel industry as well. We do continue to partner with people like yourself, Giusy, as well as other organizations throughout the supply chain to make sure that we are able to help impact and make the industry better overall. So when we look at the 3 areas for us that we're laser focused on, first one is around communities. So really making sure from environment, diversity, inclusion, it's really important when we think about the community and what the impact is on sustainability. Our second area is on operations. So really making sure that we have a safe, respectful working environment for our employees. And we've also introduced TPS programs. So this is a total product sustainability initiative for us, and it's all about responsible production. So when we think about reducing the carbon footprint, we think about energy savings, we think about zero waste management or water conservation. These are things that are at the forefront for us as we're producing our product, as I mentioned, throughout the supply chain as well. In addition to that, we've also invested into our facilities, so around the world, reducing our CO2 emissions by 40%. So something that we are significantly proud of as well, and will continue to focus on as we move forward. From a product perspective, and I think we're going to talk a little bit about one of the products specifically, but I did want to give you kind of a holistic view in terms of where we are focused from a sustainability standpoint. But we do have the largest portfolio of sustainable nylon 6/6 in the industry today. So these products directly address most of the pressing issues that we're talking about today, and you can see a lot of them are listed here. But I think we'll jump to maybe talk a little bit more about the products. I think, Giusy, you wanted us to focus a little bit on that.
Absolutely. You know, the thing that I want to highlight in front of this slide is that that's what we at C.L.A.S.S are looking for. It's not just talking about, okay, we have a recycled product and so we are sustainable. Sorry to be so brutal, but that's the reality today. But it's an overview about how a company is starting from a corporate level, but also at production level, you know, brand policy, you know, ethical, and all the perspective that has the holistic way to be responsible. And that's, you know, this one leads to the next question that is, okay, you know, it's good that the company and the fact that you are measuring yourself in all the field that is so important. But I know that you have been looking at a specific product as well, you know, that is a Sensil BioCare that is enhanced with a special technology that reduces the persistence of textile waste in oceans and landfill, decreasing the impact on the earth ecosystem and the ocean as well, you know, Francesca. So it's something that we look really with big eyes. And Michal, up to you the stage about this.
Yeah, definitely. So maybe I'm just going to jump ahead a slide because I want to talk about BioCare since you mentioned BioCare, and then I'll come back and show, because we do have other products as well that are important for, you know, when we think about water conservation as well. But BioCare is something that we're really excited about. And this is, you know, when you think about some of the things that we've already talked about, plastics in the ocean, really this is our solution to reduce the persistence of textile pollution in the ocean as well as the landfill. So what we do with this product is we start with our premium nylon products that we're delivering today, and we embedded technology into it so that if any of the microfibers are released, and we know that's an issue today, but if any microfibers are released during washing or wearing of the product and they end up in the environment, they will break down faster than conventional nylon 6/6. And this is important when we think about what's polluting our ocean today, what's polluting our landfills. We have done independent studies on this as well, and we've seen almost a 60% reduction in the microfiber in 2 years. So normally this would take decades, obviously, to decompose in landfills. So we're excited about what we've been able to show. I know, Francesca, you talked a lot about the science and the data, and we're able to talk about this as well. The great thing about this is that this technology doesn't wear or wash out as well, and it also doesn't interfere with other performance additives. So if you want to add dye or you want to add finishes to help with the product itself, there's no impact on this as well. Other advantages, there's no constraint in the quantities, there's no chemical treatments that are used for this, and they have the same properties as our virgin polymer as well. So products are durable as they are with nylon, and then you can see, you know, after the long use, whether you decide to repurpose, recycle, however you're using those garments, when they do end up in the landfill, our mechanism really helps to deteriorate more quickly, as I said, than conventional synthetic fibers. So we're excited about this. I think I've said that a few times. We have a lot of customers that are excited about it as well. We have over 70 customers where we're either launching it or about to launch or that are interested in it, and use it across multiple uses like knitting, weaving, seamless, hosiery. We did launch it in January with Ponte Torto, and you can see, as I mentioned, there's other customers that are actively using it as well. The other piece that I do want to mention on this product too is that we have partnered. I mentioned earlier about some of the partners that we are working with. We have partnered with the Ocean Foundation on this one, and ties in nicely to what Francesca was talking about as well. And they have an initiative called the Blue Resilience Initiative. And this is really focused on restoring and conserving ocean ecosystems that protect the planet. So we all know how critical these are, and really what their focus is on reestablishing and safeguarding these ocean meadows and the coastal habitats. So some of the numbers that they've also promoted, it's a little bit alarming to know that some of these grasslands, which are being damaged at a rate of 2 football fields every hour. And we know how critical they are for sequestering CO2 out of the atmosphere to reduce global warming, as well as ocean acidification. So us being able to partner with them and us being able to make sure that we're doing our part to make sure that there's less microplastics in the ocean, it felt like a great partnership for us, and one that, again, we are really excited about.
And we are very excited too, Michal, because these are concrete industrial solutions, big steps toward, new scenarios, and where we are, we have really the evidence that not all the material are the same. It's not possible to be generic and say that, some materials are sustainable or not sustainable just in a generic way. We need information to start talking in the right way. So we need to know better the ocean and their dynamics, but at the same time, also in the industry, we need to start highlighting the real solution that are taking into consideration, because today we can, the innovation, the design, and the responsibility for a good communication toward the market. So thanks very much, Michal.
Absolutely.
For me, always exciting, also because, as you already mentioned, also the other product of Sensil are anyway working to reduce water. It's not that we have just Sensil BioCare.
Yeah.
This has been expressly, conceived in order to support that, but all the others are on the way to do every year less. And that's why you have done also a report of sustainability to measure, this impact and to share with all the market.
Absolutely.
So thanks.
Thank you.
Michal, and let's go still to Israel, because that's today, we're talking about water. Water is precious, and the technology from this country to, to save it and to look as really a precious reserve is, it's a woman panel, but it's also, the Israel technology that is really important. Michal Arbel, Sustainability Communication Lead at Kornit Digital.
Yes.
So Kornit, global digital and the global company offering digital textile printing. And Michal, you started your career as a fashion reporter for the mass circulation Israeli newspaper, sorry for the pronunciation, Yedot Aronot?
Yediot Achronot.
Okay, thank you, that's much better. And after you found the truth about the fashion industry and the way fashion is consumed and disposed, you decided to leave that position in favor of an MA degree in environmental studies. And over the last years, Michal has been working passionately. Passion is coming back all the time, that for me is committed and a lot of work, by the way. That's the way to read passion, to promote sustainable fashion. So now you're part of marketing team with a sustainability communication, and you're responsible for promoting Kornit sustainability strategy. So can you guide us, Michal, through the company's values and share how to integrate responsible innovation in digital printing? Because printing is another, key, let's say, activity that we need to have a look carefully for the ocean and for the water.
Exactly, that's right. And I'm going to say first, for the one who doesn't know, Kornit is about fashion, and without apologizing. I mean, yes, we want to buy fashion. We want to allow fashion to be okay and to be sustainable. And we see ourselves as part of the solution. We are disrupting the fashion industry, and we are helping to transform the fashion industry from the traditional fashion way to the on-demand solutions, which means that a product is being produced only after person wants to buy it. And this is, I think, the main key to change in the industry and to see things different. Because we cannot say, especially after working a few years in raising awareness towards sustainable fashion, I know it cannot be something that it's all about ecologic or about data or measuring. It still has to be something that people want to buy, want to be part of. And this is still the thing that we need to understand. So yes, we are about fashion. We are empowering fashion brands to produce fashion in a sustainable way with our technology. And
that is our subject today, because
yes.
And no waste is a word that we love at any level. So,
yeah, but with caution, because in my position in the communication, the recent project I just finished doing is explaining the people. I think Francesca mentioned it in the beginning, that we have to be careful and precise with the words we choose, because otherwise it seems like greenwash, or just, you know, it's very easy to say zero waste, zero water waste. And I think now with the Green Claim Code and with all kind of regulations, it's really important for us to be precise and accurate about the words we choose. And that's why we actually we started measuring ourselves, and we started to see how we communicate sustainability in an accurate way, which actually serves us the best to our stakeholders and to all of the people and the companies we're interacting with.
The first thing to understand about the fashion industry is how big it is. So essentially, it's an industry that ballooned up in the last 20, 30 years. And we're producing a huge amount of quantities, actually billions and billions. And to do that, we're using a tremendous amount of resources. When I say resource, I mean water, actually displacing water that is supposed to be drinkable water for the use of making clothes. Chemicals, there's actually thousands of chemicals in use in the industry. Some of them are extremely dangerous.
To understand how much of a saving we offer with our products, we ran a life cycle assessment, an LCA, for 2 of our leading systems.
LCA, life cycle assessment, is a scientific methodology in which we measure what goes into the process, an input. This is crucial because printers are normally energy monsters, and more interestingly, is almost no water is in use, and the waste is minimal. We haven't seen that in the industry before.
When compared to screen printing, our Atlas Max saves up to 93% water, 66% energy, and 82% emissions. The Presto saves 95% water consumption, up to 94% energy consumption, and 83% emissions.
So in the fashion industry, we have a big job to do. And the first and most crucial step is to actually measure the impact, to understand what is the consequences of what we're doing.
Kornit sustainable on-demand technology can actually improve the fashion world and make it better and more sustainable.
So very clear, Michal, you know. Right words, you know, supported by facts, supported by measurement, supported by opportunity. Because you said the different times, and I agree, that, you know, we are in fashion. We want to be beautiful anyhow. We are not giving up to colors. We are not giving up to, you know, the fact that the style needs to be the right one. But that should not be done at the expenses of someone else or something else, you know. And today we are talking about the water because it's a key thing. And we have seen the numbers, you know, that you have measured from the LCA to the main technologies. Can you share, you know, some project? Do you want to share maybe, you know, some, I know that you have partners all around the world, in Europe especially, but not just, we have seen the Los Angeles Fashion Week, you know, last, I think, January. Can you take us to this other information?
Yeah, as I mentioned, so we are in fashion. We are in the fashion business. We work with the big brands, which are not, maybe might seem not so sustainable, like Boohoo, Amazon, ASOS. It's just some of our clients. But we do believe we can make it better. We can do it better, and we're giving the tools to create better fashion. So as you already said, we had the Fashion Week in LA. In this Fashion Week, we actually collaborated with top designers based in LA that actually demonstrated how sustainable fashion, on-demand fashion, can be very creative, very chic, very glamorous. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't say that if it's ecological or sustainable, then it's all, you know, white without any decorations and application. It can be very chic, but it can make better. It can be, our printers are able to print by the meter. You don't need to print the whole roll to create a little dress. I mean, this is our technology. It allows creativity without any lines, without borders. I mean, you can be creative, and that's why we're actually collaborating with creators, with influencers, with designers to express the creativity that our technology allows. We are heading to London to Fashion Week. It's not the traditional Fashion Week. It's like an alternative Fashion Week, which is going to be in May. And we actually have next month in April, Tel Aviv Fashion Week, which I hope will gather designers and influencers and fashion writers from all over the world to see how fashion can be made better.
And this is great, Michal, because the company you were mentioning, you know, will be sustainable, will be less impactful, even if they do not choose to be, because they are using the latest technology that are doing amazing things, that is not using water, that is not using certain, you know, bad impact. So this is, I think, one of the answer. You know, I had the chance to be present to the, you know, opening of this research center also near Como, you know, with Creazioni Digitali. And believe me, the kind of, you know, operation that you can do, and diversification and, you know, excellence in uniqueness that you can do on a garment on demand with the printing on demand is really amazing. So we are starting a new chapter of creativity, where, you know, the less impact is becoming a must. It's not something to add on. It's something really that is becoming the new normal. So thanks, Michal. And now let's go to another, you know, very interesting form of creativity, for sure. You know, Irene Diez from Ecoalf Foundation. She's the director of the Ecoalf Foundation. Environmentalist by training, her career has been focused on project management. She has linked to environmental education, governance, investigation, and rural development while she worked for Salamanca University Administration and their sector institution. So she's the general manager of Ecoalf Foundation, where, among others, coordinate upcycling the oceans. So here we come again, and that's why we are all here today. A revolutionary circular economy project. That's where, you know, we are going around in our conversation with an international scope, whose main objective is to tackle marine litter, you know. And besides, she's a member, independent expert group of the Spanish Citizen Assembly of Climate Change, and member of the board director Spanish group from Green Growth. So, Irene, I think it's amazing. I think we have done a journey today through really, you know, all the steps that needs to be part of our information, our education. You know, we are not thinking about, let's say, conventional students, but people that is passionate, committed, and that needs to know in order to do better, a better business, you know, a new generation of business. And I think Ecoalf is one of the most successful sustainable brands in the market that has made the sustainable and sexiness of the product, you know, going side by side. So since the beginning, the role of seaside or ocean has been key. So first to clean them, but also to use the waste from the water that has become the raw material. So really circular economy by soul and by beauty, by design. So amazing products. So Irene, can you guide us through the company values and share your commitment towards sustainable innovative solution that is already at consumer level, because Ecoalf, by the way, is selling very well.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm trying to summarize what Ecoalf is, then we will release a video which explains very well what has been done so far. But yes, as we said, and I think I share with Michal completely, is we do fashion. No, it's not something we have to feel guilty about. It's not. We want to do fashion in another way. So that's the key. No, and we understand fashion in a different way that done in the last 20 years. So Ecoalf, I'm gonna share some slides very fast, if possible.
Yep.
So Ecoalf was born as a sustainable fashion brand, which from my point of view is a very good beginning. No, it's not about changing the company, it's about, get born with a very clear goal and a very clear mission to create the first generation of recycled products with the same quality and design as the best not recycled. When Ecoalf was created in 2009, we considered that the recycled products was the best way to do it in a different way, okay? So we began to recycle different materials into textile products, plastic bottles, discarded fishing nets, used tires, and post-industrial and wood and cotton mainly, also coffee. And it was from the very beginning the raw material of the company. You know? With this small or big thing, depending on how you saw it, you can do many things regarding environmental. You can get very good results regarding your impact as company. No, you can reduce, for example, just an example with plastic bottles. You can reduce the consumption of water comparing with virgin materials. You can reduce the consumption of energy, and of course, you can reduce your impact regarding carbon footprint. No, so that's clear. Above all, regarding water, I think today we have to mention, especially talking about fashion, we cannot avoid talking about cotton. Cotton is the main consumer of water in the fashion industry. So we have been always focused in changing the eco cotton, organic, certified, and use recycled cotton, no? Which has been a challenge, is still a challenge, above all when we talk about female garments, but that's the key, no, regarding saving water, and this is one of the main, I think, the main results of the company. It's not only about what we do. It's not anymore about what we do. It's about how we do it. Okay, so what we do, we use recycled materials to create fabrics, but how we do it is much more ambitious. And now it makes more sense 12 years later, no? So for us, one of the key points with the client, as Giusy said, now you talk with the client and you have this direct connection with the client. And for us, the key is traceability and transparency. So we have developed recently a tool to explain our clients what they are buying, even the difference between our products. We consider all of our products sustainable, but not all are so sustainable or at the same level of sustainability. So that's important. And for us, this has been key to get all the info and to show in an easy way or understandable way to our clients, no? And then, of course, one of the most important projects of the company is Upcycling the Oceans. Upcycling the Oceans is a project led by the Ecoalf Foundation. And it's a project to tackle marine litter in collaboration with the fishing sector, okay? So it's much more than a project to clean up the ocean, because, for example, last year we collected 300 tons of trash from the seabed, but if you compare with the 8 million tons that are dumped into the ocean every year, it's nothing, it's just a drop in the ocean, no? But with this project, we promote circular economy. We convert this plastic into textile again. And if we promote circular economy, we think the waste has a value. And if it has a value, it's not becoming littering, which is good. And then we try to increase, not as well as Francesca, but we try to increase also the ocean literacy, no? we get data about what is collected from the seabed, and we report to different research centers about this data, no? Which is key to close the tap.
because there is no planet B, Irene, and I think it's the essence of, and we have not another ocean, and we cannot have a clean water if we do not commit to change and to do action. And I think it's good to hear that business can be a good place to start this conversation and not some other place. But for sure, the last question to you, Irene, is about how the consumer is, reacting to all of this, because it's much more than buying a product.
I think that, I don't know, my colleagues would think about that, but I think Many of them are convinced, most of them are okay, but all of them are still learning. I mean, learning, we all are learning, no? But sometimes I'm a bit worried about how people manage the sustainable fashion as a solution to keep buying, no? It's like, okay, I'm buying fashion, I'm buying sustainability brands, I'm buying recycled products, but you're still buying much more than you need, buying much more than even the recycle system can manage. So I think there is a change of mind, a great change of mind to get all of us, no? And
well, you're
even
talking
our
about a
clients
mind
are
shift.
trying to.
Sure, you're talking a mind shift, and we are talking, you know, Francesca at the beginning said we have to be careful with the words of solution, how you paraphrase it. I think we are going step by step into a strategy that is going to lead to a new mindset, I think, where the consumerism is going to be different, because sustainability, you know, does not mean to buy everything every time at every moment. You know, fast fashion is really, you know, in terms of, you know, approach is not really sustainable. But
Yeah, for example, I think, well, just something that happens to us now, it's a 10-year-old brand, and we try to do very good quality, and we think in 10-year warranty of our garments. That's the idea, no? Durability, timeless design. And today, many people ask us about the recyclability of our garments, no? Which is something we have to deal. We have not yet a solution, but I sometimes say, okay, when did you buy the garments? And no, last year. And you are already thinking about the recyclability? No?
Yeah.
So
in the middle, we have for how long should I use a garment or a shoe?
No? How good
there is a whole new conversation, I think, Irene, you know?
Yeah, another issue. Sorry.
Well, and for sure, we need to have it. But again, we need to go step by step, because I think what we are doing today is to put a drop in the ocean toward, you know, knowledge and awareness, information. But also, you know, we know that we have a community of people that is working at industry level, at, you know, brand level, and then also consumer level. But of course, we also know from market research that, like our government, that are, you know, into the middle, you know, 50% is the political side and the other is really the opposite. So is the consumer in the attitude. So I think, as Michal was saying, you know, sometimes it's important to give solution, even if sometimes people does not get fully, you know, the kind of performance that they get, but at least we are giving something that is ethical, that is not polluting, that is recyclable, and is maybe compostable or degradable. Doesn't, you know, there are many solutions today. And the way, as everybody was saying, you know, we know something, but we are learning every day, me included. And that's why we have a platform where we are open to the solution, and we are looking for, but we are also approached by people. So, and that's why we are here today all together to share this information, but it's not going to be the last one, because things are getting obsolete, even technology, in 6 months' time. And we are sometimes happy about it, because we have seen things changing so quickly for the good and for the better. So I think we have seen, you know, the menu of today, thinking about the necessity of water, of the ocean for everyday life, but also for all the species included, you know, and human being is one of them. It's not the only one. I would like to highlight, because it's important, even if I think is the one that is not learning the lessons of ethical. And I'm not going further, because everybody of us has enough, and we need to stay focused in order to progress what we're doing. If there are some questions, that's the time. We are really open. I didn't see anything in the chat, but
no,
you know,
for now, no.
Even if you have something, you know, now that is come to your mind, but anyhow, I think Camilla has put our address in the chat. So even if it's later, you know, more than happy to answer. And I take really the chance to thank you all the speakers of today, all the women that today has been taking time to take us through an amazing, you know, such human-centered, I think, resources like the water and the oceans. And I'm sure that we will be here soon to go to the next level, because we have not come, we just started our journey here. So grazie Francesca, grazie Irene, grazie Michelle, grazie Michal. And thank you for the class team to organize, you know, everything, because it's always a challenge also for the technology and the connection. And so thanks very much. If there are no questions, I will close it here, and keep in touch, by the way, because it's not at all the end. Grazie.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.